up, you guys? It's your girl Vanessa Ramona, and I'm back with another video. Excuse my appearance, you guys. I've been gone all day. I'm just getting in the house, so I might be a little washed or whatever, but I said I had to get this video out because this video was requested by one of my subscribers. Her name is Sherrie Wallace, and I'm gonna have her information down in the description box below because she's also a YouTuber and she's trying to grow her channel. So you guys click on the link below to Sherrie Wallace page and show her some love. She shows how to do different styles with natural hair and different things like that, products and all of that amazing stuff for the hair, for natural hair especially. Also, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do so. Hit that post notification bell, smash that subscribe button, and yeah, like and comment to all of my videos. If you have not seen some of my previous videos, then definitely go back and watch some of those, because I definitely have some funny videos and some very informative videos, and also, you know, maybe a challenge or so in there. So you guys definitely show love to my page and just share it with your friends and your family. As you can tell by the title, your girl is getting ready to talk about something that has been requested, and that is what are good protective hairstyles for the hair. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and just jump right into the video. Just to give you guys a backdrop, many of you might not know, but I have been a licensed master cosmetologist since 2008. Yes, I'm master cosmetologist since 2008, and I've worked in shops for years, but I decided that, you know, I kind of want to take a break from that, and yeah, so I no longer do hair, but I do have some working knowledge of, you know, hair and different things like that. So when we talk about protective hairstyles, what are we talking about? We're talking about those styles that keep you from having to manipulate your hair every single day with brushing and combing. We're talking about styles that helps keep you from flat ironing your hair every day, keeps your hair protected from like the different elements and different things like that. So we're talking about any style that promotes hair growth and keeps you from having to disturb it daily. So let's get into talking about some of the protective hairstyles. Let's talk about braids, single braids, twists, single twists, things like this, which these are passion twists. Are they protective hairstyles? I think they are great protective hairstyles. Because like I said, they keep you from having to flat iron your hair. They keep you from having to brush and comb every single day. And of course, you know, they're helpful styles when you have to just get up and go. You don't have time to try to, you know, style your hair and do different things like that. So I think they're great protective hairstyles. However, a protective hairstyle can turn into a damaging hairstyle. And a lot of times people don't understand and don't realize that. How can braids, how can twists, passion twists be a damaging hairstyle? Number one, tension. Although braids and twists and things like this can be a very good protective hairstyle, they can also be very detrimental as well. The reason why I say they can be very detrimental is because if you have your braids, if you have your passion twists, if they're extremely too tight, you guys, it is detrimental to the hair, because the more tension you cause on the hair, the more you're popping the strands of the hair. So you definitely want to definitely be on the lookout for that. So if you have somebody that's braiding your hair, if you have somebody that's doing your hair, if you're doing your own hair, you want to make sure that you're not putting too much tension on the hair to break off the hair, because as soon as you take those braids down, as soon as you take those twists or whatever down, you're going to notice that you're going to have a lot of not normal shedding, but more than normal shedding. Definitely want to make sure that you are looking out for tension. Another thing, it can be sometimes it can be drying to the hair. It can be drying to the hair. If your hair is not already moisturized, if you're not keeping your hair moisturized with the braids or the twist or whatever, it can be very detrimental to the hair because the hair is drying. When you're putting synthetic hair, a lot of times on top of your hair, it dries out the hair a lot of the time. So you have to make sure that before you get a protective hairstyle, that your hair is moisturized. While you actually have the braids or the twist or whatever you have in, make sure that that you are moisturizing your hair as much as possible. Even if you sometimes take a water bottle with maybe some water and a little bit of leave-in and spray that on your hair. You don't have to do it daily, but at least twice or 3 times, a week. You want to make sure that you are adding that extra moisture to the hair. You want to make sure that you're applying oil to the scalp. I like to use like coconut oil, or my hairstylist, she actually gave me some oil, and she got some herbs and different things mixed up just to kind of like, massage the scalp, and different things like that. So if you're not doing that, those protective hairstyles could be very detrimental to the hair. I like scalp braids a lot of the times over the single braids. And the reason why I say that is because with single braids, when you're trying to oil your scalp and different things like that, as you guys can see, you have so many places that you have to try to, get that oil and stuff to. Whereas single braids, or not single braids, I'm sorry, if scalp braids is braided straight back, you can take that oil, put it directly on the scalp. Bow directly on the scalp. Whereas these, you have to kind of like, like, oh, did I grease this part right here? To try to make sure that you got every little, every spot or whatever, and all of that stuff. But like I said, anything with that, definitely you want to make sure that you don't have too much tension on the hair. Let's talk about crochet braids, because these right here, these are actually crocheted in. Is not a lot of tension on the hair if you don't braid it too tight, because a lot of times if you braid your hair down, especially if you braid in the scalp braids and then you're going in with the crochet needle, if it's braided too tight, you're going to find that it's going to be very difficult for you to get that crochet needle under that braid. And what happens when you are trying to force a crochet needle under that braid, you're breaking hair. You're breaking hair. And a lot of times people are like, oh my God, that hurts. Because if it's braided too tight, too much tension, and then you're taking a crochet needle and you're going up in there, you're pulling hair through. So it can be a very good hairstyle, but it can also be very detrimental to the hair as well. So like I said, everything with a grain of salt. You just want to make sure that you're not putting too much tension on the braiding process when you are doing your crochet braids. Let's talk about the rubber band method. A rubber band method. So this is also a rubber band, and I kind of want to take this a loose to kind of show you guys. If you guys can see, excuse the little jam and stuff right there. If you guys can see that little rubber band right there. That little rubber band right there. Let me tell you about the rubber bands. Okay. One thing about the rubber band method, it all goes back to the tension. You want to make sure that when you put your rubber bands in, you're not causing a lot of tension. 2, you want to make sure that your hair is oiled. These rubber bands within themselves can sometimes cause breakage to the hair. The reason why it causes breakage to the hair is because this elastic, this little elastic band, if the hair is not moisturized, if the hair is not, I don't want to say greased, if it's not oiled properly, a lot of times when you put that rubber band on it, the hair is already dry. And you have this rubber band that is sliding over the hair. You have this rubber band that's constantly looping through the hair. And so therefore, because the hair is already dry and you putting a rubber band on it, it just breaks it. It breaks, and you'll notice that when you take the rubber bands out, that your hair will have some breakage to it. So you want to make sure that, especially with the rubber band method, that your hair is oiled. I'm telling you, you want to make sure that it's oiled, because if not, you're going to have a lot of breakage. When you take out your rubber bands, you pretty much want your rubber bands to be able to, if you're, sliding them out, you want to make sure that they're actually sliding out. I don't like to loop like 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 times, because you're putting too much, you're squeezing the hair, you're suffocating the hair. So you definitely want to make sure that you're only looping at max. If you got to just do it some more, at max 4, but I definitely wouldn't push 4. I'll definitely do at least about 3 of them. So with the rubber band method, I like the rubber band method because it causes the hair to look a whole lot neater. It brings everything together, and then you're able to, loop and, do all that good stuff, and it just gives it more of a uniform look. But I would definitely say, definitely be careful with the rubber bands and different things like that. The last thing that I kind of want to talk about, I kind of want to talk about sew-ins. The sew-ins, the lace fronts, the glue, the quick weaves, all of that good stuff. I think they're pretty good protective hairstyles. But you have to be very careful when it comes to glue. You have to be very careful when it comes to the glue. You have to be very careful when it comes to the lace fronts. You have to be very, very careful when you're sewing the hair. I know a lot of times people use like weaving nets and stuff like that, but even in using the weaving net, your needle is actually going through the hair. The thread is actually going through your own braid and different things like that, even though I know a lot of times, you know, you use the braiding hair and stuff like that. But you definitely want to be very careful because you have a lot of things that's going on in that scenario, especially if it's braided back. You're sewing hair on top, you're using a weaving needle, you know, you're putting glue. You know, I know a lot of times with the frontal, a lot of times with the frontals, you want to make sure, because I know a lot of times, you know, people apply the glue. You want to make sure that it's not a lot of tension on the edges, because I've seen a lot of women, when it comes to that glue, after they take those frontals off, all of this be gone. The whole edge, all of that just gone. All of it. And I know I'm saying it wrong. All of it be gone. So you definitely want to make sure that when you're doing that, you're not putting a lot of tension. You want to make sure that when that start lifting back, that you're not, you know, when you're taking it off, that you're just not pulling it off, that you're just not ripping it off, you know, and you're ripping hair and all that other stuff with any glue style. You want to make sure that you have the proper coating under there. You want to make sure that you have I used to use what is that stuff? It used to be, it's called money. It's been so long, y'all, since I've just done hair like that. So some of this terminology, I just can't remember. But I think it was Morning Glory or something like that, where it was a protective layer when I used to do the quick weaves, protective layer, and put that, and then you put paper, and you know, you put so many different things on top of it because you want to make sure that you're not putting that glue directly on top of the hair to kind of pull that stuff out. Because a lot of times, more than likely, when the customers go home and when that quick weave get old, they're not coming back to you for you to take it out. They're gonna try to take it out at home by themselves. So you know, you just kind of want to make sure that anything that you do, you are protecting your hair. And a lot of times I feel like when you're doing these protective styles, you want to make sure that you're taking care of your own hair before you even get a protective style. Because if your hair is dry, your hair is, you know, has not been treated, sometimes it can still, I don't care how protective it is, it can still be very detrimental to the hair. You just want to make sure that anything that you're doing, you're taking care of your natural hair. Period. So to answer your question about protective styles and all that good stuff, I believe protective styles are very good, any one of them, just as long as you are using wisdom, as long as you are taking care of your natural hair as well, and as long as you're not putting too much tension. When you first get your braids and all this stuff, you don't want to already start putting them in styles and putting them up and twisting and all that other stuff, because it's already a lot of tension from the braids within itself. It shouldn't be too much, but there's already tension as is, and you don't want to keep manipulating. I have experienced this myself. When I start trying to do that, you start feeling like little hairs and stuff start popping, and like, oh my god, like it's tight, but I'm trying to put it up in the ponytail. Y'all excuse my edges because I did not slit them down. So that's pretty much it as far as like my protective styles, the pros and the cons of protective hairstyling. Is protective hairstyling good? I think it's very helpful. It's very good. You can get up and you can go. You ain't got to worry about, you know what I'm saying, trying to flat iron it and do this and do that and blah blah blah, in and out, honey. All you gotta do is take it out the bunny and go. And before I go, I do want to say, make sure that when you do have protective style, that you're tying your hair up. A lot of times people just lay, honey, just lay. No, you need to tie it. You need to tie it, because a lot of times that I found as well, when you don't have your hair uniform up in the bun, or at least tied up or tied in a certain way, when you're sleeping, you're scrubbing, you're rubbing, you know, and all this other stuff. And what happens when you constantly rubbing on a pillow? I mean, especially if you don't have satin pillowcases and different things like that, your hair is constantly rubbing them, and that can also cause breakage, even though it could be a protective hairstyle, but it can cause breakage. You have it up in the set and everything is uniform, you might roll to the side, but as you can see, if it's uniform, ain't nothing moving. There's nothing moving. So those are my little tips. You know what I'm saying? I don't know it all. You know, like I said, you know, I've been in the hair game since 2008. You know, and I've seen a lot of things over my time or whatever. But you know, hey, these are just my little tips. I think protective hairstyles are very good. I think braids, twists, they're cute, they're fun, they're sexy. But at the same time, you just have to know how to maintain. You have to make sure that, you know, you're keeping your hair healthy at the same time. So if you like this video, then give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And go ahead and smash that like button. No, that's the same thing, right? Yeah. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button. And let's grow this family. Let's grow this family. Let's grow. Let's grow. Hey, let's grow this family. Now bring it in and high five, high five, high five. Don't forget, the first 100 subscribers to my channel, I will be doing a makeup giveaway. So you guys definitely share my channel with your family, your friends, your cousin, your baby daddy mama, your baby daddy daughter, your baby daddy son, wife, all of them. Okay, I love you guys. Talk to you guys later. Peace.